Hi everyone, this is Sean from Hancock Guitars. I'm going to be talking about classical guitar tuners today. This info applies both to luthiers who have finished a guitar and want to fit tuners to it, and to those wanting to replace the tuners on an existing guitar because the old tuners have broken or because they want to upgrade to a better quality set. I have this 50-year-old Suzuki guitar that a customer brought in because the original tuners finally broke and the button came off. I'm going to be fitting a new set of tuners to this guitar and drilling and filling the screw holes. So I've taken the strings off and I'm going to start by unscrewing the old tuners and removing them. Now that the old tuners have been removed, we can see how the new ones fit. So the customer has chosen these Gotoh 35G 450 tuners in a nickel finish because they resemble the original tuners quite closely and they're also quite economical. So let's see how these fit in the headstock. So we'll slot these tuners in and see how the holes line up for the screws. So you can see, unfortunately, the holes, while they are close, they're slightly off center to the holes in the plate. And that's going to mean if we try to put screws into those original screw holes, they're going to be crooked. So we really need to fill those holes and drill new ones. We may get away with this hole. I'm going to try putting a screw in that one, but the other two here will have to be filled and drilled. The one up here, because it's completely outside the original hole, we can just drill a new hole for that one. We don't have to fill the old hole. So I'll start by trying to put a screw in that hole that was fairly well lined up and see if it goes in straight or if it goes in crooked. Actually, that one's turned out okay. We're lucky enough that we can leave that screw hole as is. So we just need to fill this screw hole and this screw hole. So I'll take that screw back out again. To fill those screw holes, we're going to use screw plug stock, which is like a timber dowel of the correct size. We'll use the 2mm screw plug stock in this case, this stuff here. And what I like to do with the screw plug stock, even though it's the right size, I still like to sharpen the end of it a little bit on some sandpaper, and that's just going to mean it slides into the hole a lot easier. So I'll sharpen both ends of this. We've got 2 screw holes we need to do, so that'll give us our 2 ends for the 2 holes. And then I just put a little bit of Titebond glue on that. I prefer Titebond than something like super glue because the super glue has a danger of getting on the finish, whereas the Titebond, being water-based, does not. It'll wipe off. Pop it in the hole, give it a little tap. You could cut this with a razor blade or something like that, but I like these like string cutters. Just snip that off. It does a nice job of snipping it off flush. Second one. And we'll just leave that set for about 20 minutes so the glue can dry and we'll drill the holes. It's been about 20 minutes. I also filled the other side with that screw plug stock. So it's time to drill the new holes for the screws. So the best thing to do is to actually use the tuners themselves as a template. I've got my drill here with a 1.5mm bit. That's the perfect size for the screws that come with these tuners. I've put a bit of tape around the drill bit. That's a depth stop, so we don't want to go past that tape or we might go through the headstock. And you line up the drill in the center of the hole. Don't put much pressure on, and then slowly drill in, being careful not to go too far. So that's the 3 holes that needed drilling. I'll show you a trick that works well with classical guitar tuners now, and that's using some soap inside the holes that the rollers go into. This is just regular soap like from a bathroom. You just get a little bit of that on a stick and wipe it on the inside of the holes. That'll actually lubricate those holes, so when the rollers roll around inside them with the string tension, there won't be as much friction, or the friction will not cause the tuners to sort of get stuck in place. You'll have smoother tuning and less jumps when you're tuning the guitar. This isn't necessary though if your tuners have ball bearings already on them, because they'll do the work. Then just slip the tuner in. If there's a little bit of soap residue, you can just wipe that off and insert your screws. You just want to tighten the screw up until the head just hits the metal plate and give it maybe a quarter of a turn after that. You don't want to turn it too much or it'll strip in the hole or strip the head of the screw. So that's just up to it. Give it a little, maybe 1/8 of a turn from there, and that's enough. And that's it, the tuners are on. Some new strings, and this guitar will be ready for another 50 years of playing, hopefully. If you've enjoyed watching this video, please hit the like button or subscribe to our channel, and I'll see you next time.